Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Hillary Jubilee. If you're new, we talk about manifestation, conscious creation, and the law of assumption. If you're into those topics, please hit subscribe. It helps my channel out. Obviously, hit the like button and we'll get into the video. Today's video is about releasing resistance around your desire. So I have noticed a lot of people asking about, I want to manifest this certain thing, and there are all these steps that we would normally have to take to get to this certain thing, and I want to manifest getting my thing without going through all those steps. And of course, anything is possible. It's just based on, can you get your self behind that? Can you get your belief behind that? Can you believe it's possible? Do you believe it's possible? Because any and all things are possible. You are God. All things are possible to God. So there's nothing that's out of reach. It's just, can you, how much resistance do you have towards that thing? And, if you're unwilling to take certain steps or certain actions, and you're like, no, it has to be my way or the highway, that there's some sort of resistance, or there's a fear, or there's a fear of taking those actions, or there's resistance against those actions. So, for example, some people are like, oh, I want to get this certain job, and there's all these things that I would normally have to do, and I want to manifest doing it without that. And that's totally fine. But, being willing to take the action, if I have to, I will. But just coming at it from this attitude, if I have to, I will. Because otherwise, if you're clinging on to it, I need to manifest it without doing this certain thing, then, you've got some sort of resistance there, and you want to look at that and work through that. So how I would do that, how to work through the resistance, is take yourself through, okay, what would happen if I actually had to do that? What would happen if I had to do this thing that I don't want to do to get my desire? And I'm not saying that you actually have to do it. I'm just saying going through it in your mind, and just imagine, okay, if I actually had to take these steps, what am I afraid of? What am I resisting there? Why don't I want to do that? Is it just hard work? It's just taking your mind through the story of okay, if I really had to take these steps, what am I afraid of? What do I think is going to happen? Do I feel like I can't do it? Do I feel like I'm not worthy? Do I feel like, any of those types of things? That it's there's something there, I want to manifest this and I want to skip all of these steps. I think just from my perspective, it's just easier to, to release the resistance, just be willing to do the thing that you don't want to do. So a good example of this is the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Great book. It's free on YouTube. You can listen to it. Anyway, so she tells this one story about one of her clients or people that she helps, and she was deathly afraid of walking underneath ladders. She was very superstitious and, thought that walking underneath ladder would give her, however, is it 7 years of bad luck, or is that breaking a mirror? I don't know. Whatever the superstition is about walking underneath ladders. And so anyway, so she was at the bank, and there was, okay, before this, so she told Florence Scovel Shinn, I'm really afraid of walking underneath ladders, whatever, she wants to get over this fear. And Florence said, you have to do it, do your fear. So she was at the bank, and somebody had a ladder, and it was right in her path, and she was frozen in fear, and she just looked at the ladder and she couldn't do it. She couldn't even go near it. She turned around and walked out, and then as soon as she got to the street, she's like, no. And she gathered up the courage, and she's like, no, I'm going to do this thing. And so she walked back, and when she got there, the ladder was gone. So it's a prime example of okay, she decided, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this thing that I'm so fearful of doing, this thing that I have so much resistance around. You know what? I'm bigger than that fear, and I'm bigger than that resistance, and I can do it. And so that energy of being willing to do the thing that she didn't want to do, ironically, it's always a paradox, right? So ironically, she's willing to do it now, and now she doesn't have to do it because the ladder disappeared. And it's just your fear is dissolved because you have dissolved it, you've overcome it. So there's no need to now do the thing. So it's just a prime example of, if you've got resistance around taking certain steps, or resistance around anything, even if there aren't steps, if you want something and you feel like you're not worthy of it, or you feel like it's too much or whatever, how go through it in your mind, what would happen if I didn't get it, then, and sort of go through that alternate reality, that unwanted alternate reality. You will still be okay. So coming to that conclusion, I'll be okay no matter what. I'll be okay either way. I can't mess it up. Going through that in your mind, how it's okay, so I can see how if that would happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world, and I would still thrive and survive, survive and thrive. And yeah, so just dissolving that resistance. I think a really good way to do it is just being willing to do the thing you're afraid of, or being willing to do the thing you don't want to do. And even if you do have to do it, like, be okay with that. And then a lot of times, since the resistance is dissolved, now you don't have to do that thing. That's all I have for today, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. See you later. Bye.